Wearing heels is a fashion statement known for its elegance and style. But did you know that the history of high heels goes far beyond modern fashion? In fact, high heels have been worn for centuries, and their origins are both fascinating and unexpected. Let's explore the history of wearing heels and how this footwear evolved from practical use to a symbol of status and style. The earliest known use of high heels dates back to ancient Egypt, around 3500 BC. Both men and women of the upper classes wore heels, but not for fashion. Heels were used for practical purposes. Butchers, for example, wore them to keep their feet clean from blood while slaughtering animals, and heels also elevated people from the dirt-covered streets. Similarly, in ancient Greece and Rome, actors wore platform sandals called kothorni on stage to elevate their status and make them more visible to the audience. One of the most surprising facts about the history of high heels is that they were originally worn by men for horseback riding. In 10th century Persia, soldiers wore heeled shoes to secure their feet in stirrups while riding. The heels helped them maintain balance while standing up in the stirrups to shoot arrows. This practical use of heels for horseback riding eventually spread to Europe in the 16th century, where Persian influence on European fashion led to men in European aristocracy adopting heels as part of their attire. By the 17th century, high heels had become a symbol of status and power in European courts, particularly in France. One of the most famous wearers of high heels was King Louis XIV of France, known for his extravagant lifestyle and fashion sense. Louis XIV often wore red-heeled shoes, which became a mark of royal privilege. Only those in his court were allowed to wear red heels, further emphasizing that high heels were not just a fashion accessory, but a status symbol reserved for the elite. During this time, both men and women of the nobility wore heels to showcase their wealth and social standing. However, by the late 18th century, high heels began to be associated more with women's fashion. The French Revolution brought about social changes, and men's fashion became more practical and less decorative. As a result, men gradually stopped wearing high heels, and they became primarily a feminine style. In the 19th century, high heels made a comeback as part of women's fashion, particularly during the Victorian era. Heels were designed to create a more elegant and feminine silhouette, emphasizing women's posture and shape. In the 20th century, high heels became a staple of women's fashion, especially with the invention of stiletto heels in the 1950s. Designed by Italian shoemaker Salvatore Ferragamo and popularized by icons like Marilyn Monroe, stilettos featured thin, high heels that created a sleek and glamorous look. Since then, high heels have continued to evolve in style, from platform shoes in the 1970s to more modern designs in the 21st century. Today, high heels are worn for a variety of reasons: fashion, elegance, and self-expression. While they are most commonly associated with women's fashion, high heels have also been reclaimed by men in certain fashion circles and performances, reflecting their diverse history. And that's the history of wearing heels. A fascinating journey from ancient Egypt to the modern fashion world, showing how something as simple as footwear can carry centuries of culture and symbolism.